everybody, this is Jewelyn. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to Thursday's check-in. Grandma and I are back in Santa Monica for a day and a half to take care of a handful of things and check on the collection. With that being said, I have not been on the channel I think for almost 2 weeks because I got sick. Somebody at work got me sick. I don't know if it was a customer that I was dancing with or one of my co-workers, but it really took me down. And I am back feeling like myself, and I'm back in Santa Monica. And I think this month, for the month of March, I think we're here only for a total of 3, maybe 4 days. So with that being said, I wanted to share with you what is going on with the collection here. And as soon as I'm done filming this portion of the video, Grandma and I are gonna go into the patio and just spend the rest of the day focusing on the plants and the collection and making sure that they're going to be okay, because I don't think I'm gonna come back to check on the collection for another 2 weeks, and that'll just be for a day and a half. Right now, with my work schedule in Las Vegas, I'm pretty much dancing every night, and Mondays is my only day off from dancing because we're closed at our temporary location. So this is just like a weird time in my life, because I think out of the 16 years I've been dancing in Las Vegas, I've never danced this much, and I've always had a chunk of the month in Santa Monica. So we'll see what my life is gonna look like in the next couple of months, but I'm basically in Las Vegas and not in Santa Monica. And if you live in California, then you are aware that the rain has been really crazy. And if you are familiar with plants, and if you watch the channel, then you must love plants. You know that too much water can be a problem, and too little water can also be a problem. So you have to find that right balance. And with a collection that is so large, and with my lifestyle of traveling most of the year last year, and also not being so much in California this year until I don't know when, it's hard for me to save my plants if the weather is crazy and I'm not here to go running outside and bringing them in, which I've done over the years. If you watch the channel, I will do crazy things like that to save my plants. And I will share with you bits and pieces of the project that we're about to tackle right now, going through every single section of the patio and deciding which plants are going to go into the studio to save them from the rain, because I think it's gonna rain 2 days this week. I'll be in Las Vegas, and I don't know how many more days it's going to rain next week, and up until I can come back and check on the collection again. So we're going to make decisions today to see who goes into the studio while I am in Las Vegas. So with that being said, I came back to a lot of plants not happy. When I was here 2 weeks ago, there was one of my Hoyas that I got in South Florida. Pretty much all of the leaves fell off. It was just too much water with the rain. Coming back today, and I haven't been here for 2 weeks. The other Hoya that I got also in South Florida, too much water, it's totally died. And a handful of Sansevieras, I either had to take chunks of the section out because it was just soggy from too much rain, or I had to literally like just go through the planter and just take cuttings and see if I can salvage them. I didn't want to share or film any of that because that's very stressful, especially if you know anything about plants. 1, they're either rare, 2, they're expensive, and 3, they're your babies. So it was a very stressful moment, and I'm in the thick of it right now. But I wanted to share with you 2 plants that are very rare in my collection that suffered from the rain. And I'm trying to not beat myself up about this because there's nothing I can do. I was not here to save them, and I'm trying to find a place in my mind and in my plant heart to accept this and try to salvage the plant and move on. But from what I've seen, I probably lost about 20 plants so far from the rain since I've been away, and I'm not counting. I'm just like thinking out loud in my head. I think I might have threw away 20 plants or so. So I'm just going to be very gentle on myself. This is one of my rare plants that is suffering from too much rainwater, and I don't know, I think I might put this one either in my greenhouse while I'm away. This is my silver dollar vine, and I shared actually this plant on a recent pot of fame, if I can remember, but as you can see, it's just like suffering from the rain. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through each section that I feel like is not doing good, and I'm just going to go through the plant as much as I can to save it. And then I'm just gonna put this in my greenhouse because I think it had enough water damage that, yeah, I had this plant for so many years. It's really sad to see it suffer from too much rain. So this is the condition of it. I don't know what else to do. And I think when I last talked about it in a recent pot of fame, I'm like, you know, these coins, they don't come around too often, you know. They're very slow growing plants. So to see it getting, you know, damaged from too much rain, it just makes me really upset. So it is what it is. I'm just going to just salvage what I can, and hopefully by being in my greenhouse away from the harsh weather conditions right now, this is probably going to be the best solution for this plant. But I mean, just literally going through the plant now, I think this is the best I can do for it. But boy, that was a lot of coins that I had to take off. So I think this is the best I can do for this plant, which makes me very sad. I don't want to think or talk about it, but it is what it is. And yeah, I mean, yeah. Another plant that is very prized and close to my plant heart is my crested aeonium. And as you can see, this section here got damaged by the rain, and I am going to probably go through the plant, and I'll probably get this section here. So I'm gonna try to salvage this one here, and it can be a whole new plant. I think this is savable. And same for this section here. Wow. So I'll take here and try to salvage it. Wow, this is very sad. Here's another section. Yeah, it just got destroyed by the rain. I wanna say, ooh, I'm gonna have to get a pruning scissors and probably, I don't know, you know, like, I think this section here is okay. It feels pretty like strong and healthy. This section here too is good. It was just this section here that got destroyed by the rain. So I think what I'm gonna do is with my pruning scissors, I'm just gonna cut this section here and then cut all of these, let it callus over, and then stick it into soil, and hopefully it'll root and become another whole plant. But this is just part of plant life. What can you do? The weather was very harsh on the collection, and I was not here to run outside, cover them, or bring them into the house. So with that being said, I will share with you bits and pieces of Grandma and I tackling the patio, preparing for us to be away, and preparing the plants to be indoors, which are the ones that I think are going to need to be indoors. And if there's any plants that are not savable because of the damage from the rain, I'm gonna just throw them out, like I've done already a handful of them today since I've been home, and just find a place in my heart to be okay with that. So I hope this inspires you to also find light in a situation that you ever come across like this, if it happens to you, whether it's from other weather conditions like snow, or maybe you don't know what happened to your plant and it just didn't do good with you. That's just part of plant life, and it's definitely not a very glamorous side. So comment down below if you are in California or in another part of the world that is really harsh conditions for your plants and it did a lot of damage to your collection. I would love to know, because I'm sure I'm not the only one dealing with this. But hopefully, you know, I'm able to save them and they'll be able to root up, and what I would do is I'll probably put it back in this same planter and try to find a place in my plant heart to be okay. So with that being said, I will share with you bits and pieces of the cleanup and just going through the patio. We're just here for a day, and I will check in next week Thursday, most likely from Las Vegas. But if you do not see a Thursday check-in or an upload on this channel, you will more than likely find an upload on the vlog channel. I leave for my trip abroad in 1 month, and I'll probably be back in Santa Monica maybe in 2 weeks for a day and a half to check on the collection and prepare for my next travel. But I hope you guys enjoy just seeing an update, even if it's not a positive one. It is an update and it is reality, and I just really hope the weather will control itself in the next month, because I really hate to see the collection in this condition. But the rain will do that to you. So with that being said, regardless if this wasn't a very fun Thursday check-in, at least I am not sick. I was able to come back and save what I can save, and also too, I arrived back to my large Cressula ovata mother tree. Now, if you guys been with me for a while, you remember years ago I had an incident where my big jade trees in the front of my driveway got chopped down, and I like wanted to cry, and I was trying to save pieces from it. Well, basically while I was away, somebody chopped down the jade tree, and now only the bottom section exists, and it makes me very sad, because as you know, I harvest the blooms every winter. In fact, Grandma and I just did a bunch of harvesting this past season, which just ended. And these blooms are so special because I put them in my art, and I will share with you at the end of Thursday's check-in the status of the jade tree. And I don't know who did it, I don't know when it happened, but it happened sometime while I was away in the last 2 weeks. Maybe the gardener, I don't know, maybe the neighbor in the front, and I don't know, I'm not too sure, but it's very sad. So it's just been a very like sad day to come home to see the collection like this, and then the jade tree. So it's been a lot for my plant heart, but I wanted to hop on here while I am dedicating a handful of hours to the patio. So as you see, Grandma's up in the mix. She doesn't even care I'm doing Thursday's check-in. She knows that we have a limited time here in Santa Monica for the day, and I think we have maybe 3 more hours till the sun goes down. So I'm gonna dedicate the next 3 hours in the patio. Alright, slowly making my way through this section of the patio, and I think one decision I'm gonna do with this kalanchoe is I'm going to cut it probably here and then stick the roots in soil, because as you can see there's roots here because it is very leggy, so it is savable. Alright, slowly getting there. We are clearing out sections of the patio, moving a bunch of plants to the greenhouse. This section is done. Alright, story of my plant life. I left for 2 weeks and my jade tree got cut down. So there's only this section here. So unfortunate. I use the blooms for my art every winter. But I mean, take a look at this. Slowly making progress to the front of the studio. I went through all of these plants here, rearranged them, rotated them. A bunch of epiphyllums I did put in the greenhouse because I either lost half of the plant, I'm scared I might lose the plant from rain. So I took maybe at least 10 in the greenhouse. Also, I bought out the 3-tier plant stand because it was next to the fountain. As you can see, it's so rusty from being right next to the fountain. So I think for now, it's just going to live here. And I just brought some of my trailing plants out here. This was actually on my spiral vintage plant stand. but yeah, it's just getting trashed, so I don't know what to do, but for now it'll be here. The story of the patio. It's a never-ending battle with the tree. Okay, we officially cleared the table of plants. Grandma is wiping it down because it was literally black from just the weather and being outside. I am just going to put my big bird's nest fern on there and like my statues. That's pretty much it, because this place here gets rain. So yeah, no more plants. I lost Hoyas on here that were very precious to the collection just from just being here and getting hit by the rain. Alright, it is official. I cleared up this section here. Everything is with the help of Grandma, so I want to put that out there. We worked really quickly, as efficiently, for 4 or 5 hours out here to get everything done. And George got a trimming, everybody got a rotation, so I'm happy about that. Every plant was looked at, and this section was actually just succulents, but now I have a few houseplants here or there, maybe 5 houseplants on here. Yeah. In this section on the table, I just have my ferns. These are my Sansevieria cuttings that I need to save. Don't want to talk about that. I cleared out that whole section back there. I'm gonna move that plant stand, I don't know where. And then all of the hanging plants here remains. And then in this section, I just kind of grouped them all together. Pray for them because this section gets hit by the rain. In this back section, I put a lot of the Sansevierias back here, hoping that the tree will give some kind of coverage with the rain. But I may just bring all of them in the house tomorrow because I'm really nervous about losing any more Sansevierias and Hoyas. And here's the collection in the front. Every single plant was looked at. I took a huge part of the collection in the greenhouse, so it looks very like thinned out. Also, here's the aeonium that we replanted, and I put my variegated Joseph's coat in that planter that it was in, and now I have it in this square planter. I love the aeoniums in terracotta planters, but I don't have big terracotta planters. If you're new, welcome to the channel. Subscribe for daily uploads. Between the main channel and the vlog channel, you get a video each and every day. Shop small for any of my handmade resin art or grandma's handmade goods, jewelofhawaii.com. And I will see you very soon. Aloha from Santa Monica, California, from Grandma and I.